days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the news update show. We're going to be going over some things that Kyle Shanahan said. People showed up at practice. Some were able to practice. Some weren't. There was some new developments as well in the injury concerns, and we're going to get all into that into this episode. So thank you for joining me. If you haven't already liked the video, give the channel a subscription so you can continue to get more news updates just like this. Thank you so much for watching. So let's get into this, and it starts with Kyle Shanahan bringing up a new injured player, and that's Samson Ebukam. Samson Ebukam has been dealing with Achilles tendonitis, but this time it's a quad. The quad was injured on Monday's practice. Now, Samson Ebukam could be sidelined for a while. We're not so sure. Kyle Shanahan didn't give very much information, just as Samson Ebukam would not be participating in Wednesday's practice. So, no Ebukam. What will that mean for the rest of the week? We'll see. We'll see if he's able to get back out there on Thursday or Friday. If he's able to go through practice on Friday, there is a legitimate chance for him to play in the game on Sunday night. If not, the 49ers will have to think about going a different direction. Of course, they always have Charles Omenihu. He could go and start Drake Jackson as well. So they have options. I think Charles Omenihu would be the option due to the fact he's really good against the run. He has one of the highest pass rush rates in the entire league. Pressure rates off the charts for Charles Omenihu. Update on Eric Armstead is Kyle Shanahan did confirm what Jennifer Lee Chan had been saying about the ankle. There is a hairline fracture, and also, he's dealing with the foot as well. He's still not practicing, but looking like he's working towards an imminent return. When that will be, we don't know. With him not getting on the practice field, the likelihood of him playing against the Chargers slowly dwindles as the week continues to progress. But I think we're getting closer and closer to his return, so that's at least exciting. A hairline fracture is not the end of the world. It's not a tear. It's going to heal up. He's going to be able to come back. But like Kyle has said in the past, he's a really big guy with a lower leg injury. You have to take your time and make sure that he stays healthy. Trent Williams didn't practice, but don't worry. Trent Williams didn't practice. It was a personal vet day. Trent Williams gets one of these every week. I just wanted to make sure that everyone, knew who was practicing and who wasn't. And also Aaron Banks did not practice. He's dealing with a personal circumstance. He was unable to get out there on the field, but it doesn't look like his game is in jeopardy at all. But the 49ers without their left side of the line for practice today. Dre Greenlaw, though, here's where the good news begins. We went through the bad news. Here comes the good news. Good news is Dre Greenlaw was back at practice on Wednesday in a limited capacity, but he's out there. It means the calf is getting better, and it looks like he's trending towards playing on Sunday. The 49ers could potentially have a full linebacker group, a starting unit, which we haven't saw in some time because Azeez Al-Shaair had been injured early in the season. So Dre Greenlaw limited in practice, looking like he's working towards a return for the Chargers game on Sunday. Great news for the San Francisco 49ers. Jason Verrett was limited in practice. You might say, limited in practice, that's not good. Now, Matt Barrows posted some video talking about the fact Jason Verrett was leading a lot of the drills for the first time this year. And then Kyle Shanahan comes through with a quote during his presser. He says, I thought, and this is about Jason Verrett, I thought he was real close. We considered him against the Rams. I know he worked. He was here a lot of the time when we were away. I know he did some stuff down on his own where he goes. And so I expect him to be further along this week. I'll see him out there in about an hour, but hopefully it's closer. And it appears that it is closer because he was leading drills. He was going through drills. Of course, they're going to continue to be cautious and make sure they take care of Jason Verrett. But there is now potential for Jason Verrett to play against the Chargers, which I'm not even sure I was ready to talk about a couple of days ago. John Lynch talking about how Jason Verrett was a wild card for the rest of the season. If he got out there, he could make a huge impact. But great news for the 49ers. Verrett trending in the right direction enough that he could potentially play this Sunday against the Chargers, former team. I think that is fun as well. 49ers also opened a practice window for Jordan Willis, defensive end. Jordan Willis has been on the shelf for a long time, and now he's going to be able to come back. The 49ers open a 21-day window. Of course, yesterday opening up windows for Elijah Mitchell, for Colton McKivitz, for Azeez Al-Shire, and now for Jordan Willis. I think it's interesting the 49ers have 50 roster spots right now, which means they have 3 spots open. You would have thought Azeez Al-Shire, Elijah Mitchell, Colton McKivitz would take those 3. If they decide to go ahead and activate Jordan Willis as well, if all 4 are ready to go for the Chargers game, then you're going to have to go ahead and make some sort of a roster move. What that will be, it could be interesting to see who they go ahead and eliminate from this roster. But the 49ers definitely have room, and with Samson Ebukam's injury, Jordan Willis makes a lot of sense to be able to come in. Of course, they've had Kemoko Turay, so they could go ahead and do something with another player and then have those 2 guys together. But they're probably going to have to make a decision here pretty soon on Turay compared to Jordan Willis, same way they did coming out of training camp. Deebo Samuel was a full participant in practice today. That is great news for the 49ers. Of course, he went through Monday practice, but it was a real light scrimmage, light practices. But Deebo Samuel healthy and out there in full. Same goes for Kyle Juszczyk. He was full go in practice. Jawan Jennings, full go in practice. These guys are playing on Sunday. They're minus there being some sort of a setback. We're going to have all those weapons back for the 49ers on Sunday. Great news. Elijah Mitchell and some of the other guys that they had talking about Azeez Al-Shire, Colton McKivitz, all 3 of these guys are guys that Kyle Shanahan kind of had some fun with. So one of the media members asked, "Hey, Kyle, how are these guys doing health-wise? Are they full participants in practice?" Well, their practice window's open, but they're still considered on the injured reserve. And because of that, he doesn't have to answer. But Kyle Shanahan did a really good job of having some fun with it. And he went ahead and he said, you know what? These guys are full go. They're not restricted on any of their reps. They're going to be good to go. So great news for the San Francisco 49ers. It looks like all 3 of those guys are going to be back as well. So a little bit of concerning news as far as Ebukam. Promising news as far as Armstead potentially is going to be able to recover from this here pretty soon. And then great news as we went on. Verrett looks like he's making improvements. Deebo and everyone else playing healthy. But what about the Chargers? How exactly are the Chargers doing as far as injuries? I've looked at their injury updates, and they have a bunch of guys that aren't practicing this week. Wide receiver Keenan Allen still dealing with a hamstring. Kicker Dustin Hopkins, a hamstring as well. And then, Trey Pipkins, their starting tackle, he's dealing with a knee. Chris Rumpf, their linebacker, dealing with a knee. Defensive tackle Jerry Tillery's got something personal going on. And then, of course, Mike Williams is supposed to be out for several weeks. So they are definitely struggling with some injuries as well. This is going to be something that's interesting to monitor over the next, several weeks. So the 49ers rounding into health, minus the question marks about Samson Ebukam, hoping that we can stay healthy and get healthy all at once. If they can, it's going to make big changes for the 49ers. And I think Jason Verrett, great news, potentially getting a wild card player. So thank you guys so much for joining me for the news update episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime there's a news update episode. I like to do these and update everyone on what's going on with the 49ers. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. Whatever you want to do, let's just have some fun conversations. Enjoy other content on the channel as well. There's lots going on. Hope you guys all have a good one. Can't wait for the Chargers game on Sunday. But until then, stay safe. And remember, the right way is always the 49ers way.